The hashtagshow.co.uk.
And we're recording episode 87 of the Hashtag Show with me, DJ Gibble, aka Scott Gibson, aka Seb, and live from coast to coast with Cheeky Mal, DJ Mallocker Lee, aka Cousin Stevie. Mal, how are you?
Hello there, and thank you, Scott. Thank you. Welcome. Patreons, our
Welcome.
favourite people.
We've just finished a dirty, disgusting council episode.
Oh, it makes me want to shower after those episodes, Scott.
So thank God we're back with the patrons, the legends, the heroes, the true heroes, and thank you to everybody who has signed up since the Hillbilly special went out. We hope you enjoyed it. Some lovely feedback, some nice messages. We seem to have unlocked the inner Hillbilly with a few of you as well. And do not worry, there is plans for some more specials like that to be coming up, and cousin Steve and Seb will be making a return.
That's good. We've got to do that again, innit, man?
It's odd because we were both nervous doing it, weren't we?
Aye.
We were both, because we weren't sure how it would go, but I think once we knew we'd done that first one.
No, that's it, innit? First one's out of the way. The next one's going to be easier because we kind of, I know that we know the fucking, Scott and I spent 3 months in total living deep south to fucking, get.
Mate, I've been living with a small black family. Here in,
I've hung a few. Just to get in character.
Because you know this is Patreon, you're just straight in there, and you've already left me with an edit on the council episode.
Stoating about with a fucking pillow in my head.
Honestly, days after, I just kept going, hoo-wee, in the house constantly.
That was brilliant, man.
You ain't got nothing on me, boy.
It was like, even like after we'd done it, I was kind of thinking, that was fucking pretty hard, man. Try to keep the accents the twos were struggling with.
I know.
And then I was thinking, I don't even know where this hillbilly place is. And then I think you posted it, and I watched it in my bed, and I was honestly tears of laughter. So
good times, man.
Thank you for giving us that opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody who has signed up. But if you've got any pals, any friends, family who are not yet hashtag hero on the Patreon, encourage them to sign up and do so, because basically the way it works is the more patrons that we can get, the more time it gives Mal and I to do these specials, and also to get some new equipment that we'd like to, so we can improve the quality of the videos as well that come out. So that's the kind of plan over the next couple of months with the Patreon. But thank you to everybody who got in touch, and thank you to everybody who's signed up. Right, straight in this one, I've got a load of questions from heroes and some topics. So I suppose, Cheeky Mal, do you want a question first, or would you like a topic?
I think let's just just get into a topic.
Right. I don't know. Obviously, because you don't watch the news, other than the Italian news for the sexy newscasters.
Well, hey, I tell you what, they're fucking still hot. See, all right, the BBC are putting in all the old fucking things and that, right?
But that's more for you. That's more for the the dads.
Italians are still right up there with the old pervy dads. Here's something for you.
Hey, they're not as good as the South Americans, the Latinos.
Oh, hey.
Good lordy. Good lordy.
I tell you, but something about that Latino body,
I'm telling you.
The ay carumbas.
Yeah, the missus showed me a video the other day, right? And it's a woman, and even when I watched, I was like, "What the fuck have I just watched?" It's a woman, a black woman, with an amazing figure. She must do squats. That's all I'm saying. A lot of junk in that trunk, and in the kitchen.
Booty. I think they call it a booty.
Is that what they call it, the kids these days? Well, she's got what a backside on this woman. I'll tell you that.
Booty on her, you would say. You would say to the kids.
I could take a paddle. Anyway, so. In the kitchen, bikini on, her and her pal, and she's dancing, right? And she kind of turns to the side, and out of shot, a child, a small boy, 5, 6 at the very most, comes in the room, right? And the way that she shakes her ass, he's face to face with it, and he just licks her ass.
Brilliant. As you would. He's obviously, what you call that, Scott, is he's an old soul, He's older than his years, and he knows his wallet's not working, but he knows what to do.
He's wanting to watch Because see, when I watched it, I went, what the fuck? And then I went, put that back. I thought he was going to like, scalp it. And he just turns and goes and licks her full arse cheek.
Then
and then
he
she's
smashes
like...
he smashes his piggy bank, puts a $5 bill in her bikini. Dance for me, girl. Dance for daddy.
Spraying some grape juice on her.
Player. Mama, get me some of that fruit shoot. I'm going to go dancing.
It was intense, man. It was intense.
Send me that.
Right.
Beautiful. I'm not
So-
interested in the way. I want to see this woman dance. I think natural beauty is the thing for me. You just see a lot of woman in a sexy bikini doing the cooking. Natural beauty. Natural. Sammy Davis Jr., beautiful.
God damn.
God damn.
Oh, right. So, see, I'm scared to tell you this now in case you. I don't know how you're going to react because you're. I don't know who's in the house. I hope someone is there in case you need to be held.
Right, full families in the house. Full families in the house.
Good. Okay. News article came out today. It's been confirmed. It is happening. And here is the story. Mallorca Lee. They are no longer printing the Argos catalogue. It isn't going to exist anymore, mate.
For COVID reasons.
For COVID, for money, for
Save the
cost.
planet.
There's no shift in the units. The Book of Dreams is no more. It will live in our hearts, but you will no longer be able to physically get an Argos catalogue. And I want to ask you one, how do you feel about that? And also, how did you feel about the reduction in size from the original catalogue, which was a fucking hefty bastard, to the kind of smaller, sleeker catalogue?
Well, let me take you down the corridors of my life.
Corridors of my mind.
I remember being young and dreaming through that catalogue, just wanting things for that catalogue.
Mate, we all did. Think about now,
Staple,
right?
innit?
Especially you with children, right?
They ain't seen no catalogue.
Surely there's been a bit of you that must have broke your heart the first time your kids came to you and went, I want.
Right.
And they just told you. I can vividly remember at my granny's, before my brother's birthday is the 12th of December, and we used to get it before his birthday, where you would sit with the Argos catalogue, and we were told that because my gran and grandpa were like the oldest of the family, that they had the direct link to Santa. So we had to sit with the catalogue and just with a pen, just circle things that you would like.
Aye.
But even then, you would sit and you wouldn't just go that. You would actually think about what it was you really wanted.
Well, you'd hedge your bets. You would be a couple of
Aye.
expensive ones and some cheap ones and some mid-range ones.
Aye.
You know you're getting the fucking cheap one, but you can always dream at Christmas.
Always, mate. Always dream. And that was the Book of Dreams. You know?
It was. But then I think I kind of drifted away from Argos, and then I'd pop in and out a couple of times. And if I'm being honest, the older you go, it just looked like a shit charity shop. And you would stand in the queue. And I used to hate, and I still do, hate that queue service. All right, you queue to pay, which you do everywhere, but then you do another queue and you can't relax because you're waiting for your number. And sometimes you can be waiting for a while and you're just waiting with hundreds of stinking fucking reprobates. It's a different breed of folk that's doing their shopping in Argos.
There's a
They're all mad as fuck.
a lot of it feels like single mothers screaming at children in Argos.
And
a lot of shouting going on.
The best bit for Argos for me, and this makes me sound like a snobby, pretentious cunt, right? But I don't give a fuck,
Which year?
is the jewellery section.
That's the best section.
Aye, just for comedy value.
Oh,
Who
right,
in the
okay.
fucking right mind, Sandra, will you marry me? Oh, Stevie, I thought you'd never ask. Mo do to Argos then, pick whatever you want. You don't do that.
But do you know what, right? So you just reminded me of a time when I was doing a gig in Edinburgh and I got a note passed to me at the break. I had been talking to this guy all night, kind of bamming him up, right? And he was there with his missus and I think two other friends. And he was trying to be a bit kind of involve himself. He was just thick as shit, so he was easy fodder. No, I didn't mind because he was taking it well and he was giving it back. It was a good bit of banter, right? And then I got a note passed at the final break. asking if I could get him on stage because he wants to propose to his wife or his
Fucking
girlfriend, and they gave me the ring to prove that it was real. And I'm thinking, right, well, this makes sense why he's been kind of acting a bit awkward and a bit weird, because he's obviously fucking shitting himself, right? But the ring was like H. Samuel, whatever, right? And I can remember.
That's a jeweller's, isn't it? That's a
Aye,
jeweller's.
that's like the fucking the one that turns green, the high street. But I remember looking at
Aye.
it going like, he looks like a dafty. He's got a ring that's probably 60 quid. But then, you know,
What is
is
love,
that
Scott? What is love?
exactly? But is that us thinking about the wrong way? Where we're in the world now, where you know,
What is
in
love?
your granny's
Baby,
day,
don't hurt me.
if people were getting married,
Don't
you got
hurt
married.
me.
Nobody went, we need 20
Exactly.
grand. No, you don't. You need to get yourself down to the scout hall. I'll do the fucking sandwiches. She'll make a cake. We know the minister. Give him 20
Exactly,
quid.
man.
You're married. So is it new us that are going a bit daft, going,
We-
oh, it's got to be all fancy and gloomy. So
Yes.
maybe there's nothing wrong with getting jewellery out of Argos.
That's true. But I'd like to say that real love is still no deed, because I'm sure there's still birds out there, if they're half a bag of coke,
Real
are
woman.
agreeing to get married with like fucking any old guy at the weekend.
Exactly.
And they don't need a ring, they just need another bag of coke and a promise on Monday.
Like, commitment, mate. That's what anyone commitment.
I don't let anybody do it, Mass. But seeing as you're going to marry me, I love you.
How about you let me do that thing tonight?
Oh, okay, Franco. Listen, hen, listen. You know what? Just a wee one for me, a wee one for me. Let me finish this. I want to tell you this.
Take a wee key. Just take a wee key.
Easy, bump.
Listen,
I'll
I'm not
be
just saying this right because I'm on the powder, but listen, this isn't the ching talking. I pure love you, by the way.
Listen, I know for the lot of baby, but the ching straightened is right out. So what I'm going to say is biblical here, right?
Yeah, and you can remind me of this tomorrow because I'll ask you tomorrow. I'll ask you tomorrow, first thing when we wake up. I'll do it.
Chantel,
Sandra.
Leave the nails and the hair and come with me. You can do up my bags. I'll punt them. That much left there, we can snort to our fucking heart's content, hen. Just let Rab come out the night, fire into you, Wayne, right? I'll be threesome. I swear to God, I'll not tape it in the phone. I'll not show any cunt. It's just between us. And if you love us, Sandra, if you love us, not just me, if you love me and Rab, show us, hen. Show us. What Chico you want tonight, hen?
Aye.
I'll tell Rab to bring me a root moustache.
Rab says if you do the wee threesome, he's going to start me at the weekend at right back. I just want to get back in the team, man. Come on, do it for the boys.
Look, I'll Rab half an ounce, right?
He says he can get cash in hand work, but he just wants to smell your feet. That's all he wants to do, right? There's nothing weird about that. Come on, let him do a line off your toes. Come on.
The gap between your big toe and your other one's big enough. Let me ride away. That's what he wants to do.
He wants to ride. He wants to ride the gap in your feet. That's what he wants to do. Come on.
He wants to take a bump off your toenail. Just let him do it. I'll get me. He's got stuff right off the rock, Ken. Come on, you can't say no to that.
Oh, how do we go for some guy having a coked up threesome for an Argos catalogue?
Oh, that's it. She's like that. Listen, what you like?
What she doesn't know, what he doesn't know is she's already had Rab. That's how she got the coke in the first place.
Aye, Rab's already been pumping her up the fatter every night. Fucking,
Right.
he's away to work.
He's the
Even
mastermind. He's the mastermind in this situation.
XR2 doing rap pass and lockdown.
Don't tell Franco, right? This is between me and you, Ed. All right, here, come on, don't tell him. Come on.
Oh, no, it's right off the rock.
You
played the same team
together. Don't tell him, come on. Get your toes out. Show me the wee piggies.
Listen, I know you've only had sex with me and him. I know that. I know that. You're a good lassie. You're a good, honest woman. Everything's cool.
You want to draw off that? No, don't touch me.
That
Oh, but you'll take free powder.
I don't do the weed.
It's right bad for you. Hey, know what as well? It fucking enrages me. I've got mates who are still like mad on the powder, right? They kid
At your
themselves
age?
on Aye, they kid themselves they've no got a problem. They're still getting fucking ripped out their fucking dial, doing all-nighters, all weekends, on the gear.
Where
But-
do people get the money for this?
Hey, where do they get the money and how does their heart take it, right? And they've
Aye.
been doing it for that long. It's like their dirty secret. it's like their wee drink, but they're fucking ripping mad with the gear.
Mhm.
And I think to myself, you know, they kind of go, they eat healthy. No putting that in my body. You know, all that kind of shit.
Aye,
They're
aye,
like maybe fucking vegans or they're watching what they're eating and they're on a diet and they're in a running club and they've got a gym membership, but they just fucking get right out the fucking box. And I think to myself,
It's true. You say they go, listen, you don't, when you process food, don't
Aye.
put that shit in your body.
But they'll sniff half a gram of Daz on a Saturday.
it's fucking mad, isn't it? You're not eating that, are you? You need to watch what
Eh.
you're eating. Go to the gym a couple of times a week. All right. Then they're
McDonald's.
just like,
Are you telling me
fucking
you
kill
actually
man!
eat McDonald's, man? No, you don't want to put that in your body.
I wouldn't eat that fucking muck.
I wouldn't eat it if you
Yeah.
paid me.
Got a couple of bags this weekend, quiet one.
It's a bank holiday. Better gaze £2 man. See me through to Tuesday. That social distancing's been murdered, man. My dealer can't get this.
So are you heartbroken about the removal of the Argos catalogue? Are you not concerned?
No, I'm not concerned. I mean, everybody's got access to internet unless you're fucking sleeping under a bridge.
Even then, you've probably got a mobile phone. I imagine even homeless
Well,
junkies have got
that's
a smartphone.
Possibly.
You know,
I mean, there's more things in the world to be worried about than the fucking fall of Argos.
there's no Argos is
They-
fine. It's just they're no making the catalogue anymore.
Well, that's start of the slippery slope.
No, mate, Argos is not going anywhere. No way. No way.
I don't know. You know what? God knows what the future holds. But well, listen. What was the one? Case catalogue. That's the one I used to have a wank to when I was younger.
Oh,
I
for
don't think I've
fuck's
ever had a
sake.
wank to an Argos catalogue.
I mean, why would you have a wank? I mean, you maybe if you were gay, you could.
How is it just full of guys? Argos catalogue.
No, but they've got a workout section and they've got the snooker players bent over on the darts guys.
Well, that's enough to get you off, isn't it?
you may be a wee gay man and you could have a fetish for waistcoats and you've hit the jackpot.
Here's
You
the thing.
imagine you're a gay man and you're like, what turns you on? I just like a man's man with a fitted waistcoat and I give you 6 pages of snooker players. You'd fucking shoot your
Oh,
load
you'd be
everywhere.
like, "Oh." I'll just like guys ones with
Oh.
watches.
You'd
Oh,
be like,
fucking
Miss Brown.
hold my cock. Here's the thing, right? Obviously, you know,
You know,
case catalogue or whatever. Imagine
imagine.
I mean, I don't even think. I think even if you went to it, like, if I fucking took my boy to the side and went, "See, when I was your age, see catalogues. What do you mean you don't know what a catalogue is?" And then showed them like a couple of my collector's editions, case catalogues, with underwear sections. Just go. I used to crack one off to that.
That's shocking. Don't say that you're weighing, you weird
I know that's what I'm
bastard.
saying, but you can't even pass that kind of knowledge down because they've got access to the full red tube and all sorts of filth.
They don't. They've no idea how lucky they've got it.
They might be beatniks when they're older and go, you know, we're going old school. We're just we've found a batch of Case catalogue and we're just all going to get together at Sebastian's and fucking wank one off.
We're going to forage. We're going to forage. What's happened is we've taken 16 Case catalogues and we've planted them in a 12-mile radius out in some forestry. Now, if you happen to see a red squirrel when you're out there, raise a flag, okay? And then out they go. I can still remember the first porno that we found in the bushes, mate, and it was fucking horrific.
Oh, unbelievable!
It is
times,
burned
that
and
was
it is
genius.
burned in my
You could
retina,
probably still remember the big hairy bushes.
mate. I mean, I thought that the woman had been involved in a chip pan fire. I can burned in my fucking in my third eye. I can close my eyes and still see it, man. It's horrific.
The locks of her fire lips were trying to escape.
It looked like
a fucking kebab.
a wheelie bin had fucking burnt out in between her legs, and she's sitting there all buxom, big buxom woman, man, big veiny fucking bangers, and me and my mate, like 11-year-old, looking for conkers, going, "What the fuck is this? Is this a conkers magazine?"
There was always a clearance.
I remember we took it to his dad, and he's like, he's like, his dad, "Look what we found," and he starts like, "Fucking give me that, Jesus
Aye.
Christ, we'll put that in the bin.
I'll be putting
Aye,
that in the bin.
I'm going to take that apart and stick it over the radiator to dry the pages out so I can piece it back together again." Horrendous.
Fucking aye, they were good times, man. But kids don't have that. That's what they're going to do. They're going to end up being beatniks and foraging landfills for old scud mags and fucking case catalogues just to get an old school wank out.
You don't
What do you
even
mean?
have.
There's no technology involved in your wanking. Nope. What I do is me, Farquhar, Sebastian, and
Finlay.
Tiffany. We forage landfill for 1990 early circa noughties porn, Razzler, etc. And I'll tell you, some of the women in that,
Reader's wives.
some of the women in that you've never seen. I mean, you may have seen it in Argos Q, but my God. And there's nothing better than, four of us, shoulder to shoulder, sweating, pounding away in this magazine on the floor, splayed open, like some of its centerfolds. And the joy when one of us comes in before it's a cacophony of semen all over the magazine. It's fantastic.
But you'd need to stand in a line. Because if you were in a circle, then 2 years at the top of the magazine, so you're looking at it upside down, so you're not going to get the same result.
I bet you're looking at 3 other bell ends over it. Jilt up horns, just fucking bashing away. Nothing gay about that.
Nothing at all. Mate, you're out in the wilderness. Do you mean it's fucking keep fit? It's healthy.
Exactly. Foraging,
and
then masturbating.
Nothing gay about that. 4 young, virile men good through the fields up to a bothy, starting a small fire, taking their clothes off so they don't get hypothermia, rubbing themselves together. Maybe your penis slips inside his bottom. Nothing gay about that, for God's sake. Just try to stay alive.
Just
try to stay alive.
Yeah, it's human survival, Scott. I mean, it's not homosexuality. It's basically animal instincts. Fucking does. Gets the heart going for sure.
Right. Question time. I want to know how you feel about this. Right. I'm going to read something to you. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I just want your response. Right. Malaka Lee.
Hello there.
How old are you?
I was 48 years old on the 28th of July.
How old are your nipples?
Is it? Are we referring to the photograph that I posted?
No,
just commented on my nipples.
No, just answer the question. This isn't a trick question.
Same age as me.
Which is what?
48.
How old are your teeth?
Well, they come later. I'd say 45. Well, it's a second
45 with 3 years with 18.
Second set of teeth. So they come in your teenage years, didn't they?
So you had 3 years, fucking wee gumsy.
Well, you're like a year's with gums or something. Where I mean,
you've got gums all your life.
Your baby teeth, and then when you're about 10, 11, your real teeth come through. So let's say my teeth are like 30, 35 years plus.
Well, the question that was given to us by Andy on Facebook, oi. He says, isn't it weird that your nipples are older than your teeth? But here's the truth of it. You're born with teeth. You just can't see them yet.
Because they're in your gums.
Your teeth are in your gums. So technically they're still in your body. They just haven't broken through the gum yet. So your teeth are the same age as your body.
I love this show. Just it's educational as well as filthy.
I know. I just wanted to see your mind imploding itself as you have to figure out how old your nipples were.
I posted a picture and people were commenting on my stiff nipples.
Hey, it may have been a brisk breeze blowing across your bosom.
I was excited.
Glenn McPherson has asked on Patreon.
Patreon questions.
These are Patreon questions, mate.
Yeah.
The first one about your nipples.
Questions.
The first one about your nipples was a council question, but Andy may be a patron as well.
It better be.
But we're on Patreon now. Glenn McPherson. Glenn has asked, have you ever been ripped off by a tradesman? I think that is a financial sense, not meaning have you ever had a wank off a brickie.
Exactly.
Unless, Glenn, you have been sexually assaulted by a tradesman, in which case, please do get in touch.
Aye. Have you ever seen that episode of, what is it, Brass Eye, where he investigates the straight fucking gay guys in bars?
What?
And it's brickies and stuff like that. And
what are you talking? Why'd you always go to gay stuff?
I'm sure it's Brass Eye or something. Someday, I'm sure a Patreon will have the same sick sense of humour as me, and they will know the exact programme I'm talking about. It's a fake documentary.
I know what Brass Eye is. Brass Eye is brilliant.
Aye, but it's something like that, and it's something like gay on straight. They go into toilets and that and wank each other off. but it's no gay.
What?
It's because their, I don't know, their relationship at home's not working, and it's just like interviewing these guys talking about straight on straight encounters in toilets and stuff like that. Hilarious. It's that good I can't remember it.
I worry about you. I really do.
But what is that? Have I ever wanked off a builder? No, it was this one time.
Have you ever been, have you ever been ripped off by
Have you
ever been ripped off by a tradesman?
I was like, look, mate, cash. And he went, that's the best thing. They went, cash and a wank. He went,
Cash, and I'll fling the wife in. And he's put an extra £100 on it.
You can forage my drawers.
There's a 1980s copy of Razzle in there.
Have I ever been ripped off by a tradesman?
How do you know you've been ripped off though? That's the thing, unless another tradesman came in and went, "Oh, you didn't phone him, did you?"
I've had that's when I've known I've had things done like again they've wired my box.
I bet they have.
That's no a euphemism. That's like health and safety, electricity in your house. And then my mate who's a spark is coming in and went, "Who the fuck's done this?" And it was this guy who I thought was a mate who basically wired my house and the fucking main electric box. He fucked it up like a pure fire hazard.
Wow. Maybe he was trying to get ready.
Well, this is it. And it was my mate.
Trying to make a move on Maria.
My mate came along, he was like, listen, he goes, I'm not just saying this to get a fucking job at you, but whoever wired your electric box, it's a fucking fire waiting to happen. It was a ring size of box, he had all sorts of cables in it. Boy, was I lucky.
But do you ever think sometimes, because I am not a handyman, right? I'm an artist. I'm a creative.
Artist.
If something needs done, I phone a man in. Now, some women may look at me as less of a man. I couldn't care less. All right. So see if somebody was
you're a problem solver,
mate. Hey, I'm a creative thinker, right?
Yeah.
I put people in places. I connect the dots.
Yeah.
All right.
All
right. You need something done. Hey, I can get that done. I'm going to have to involve people in that to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If a guy came in the house and went, listen, mate, see this box? It's all wired to buggery, man. You're lucky the place isn't blew up. How the fuck would I know?
You look at it.
How would you know? I think a lot of the times, tradesmen take the piss.
Oh, the license to print money. It's the same as we spoke earlier on the council episode. These cunts with burger vans, they've got a license to take the piss out of their menu prices.
Yep.
But tradesmen in particular, what you want to do, and they tell you what you want to do. It's the same with everything. Garages.
It just have to tell you. Garages, Jesus, don't get me started.
Exactly. Tyres are perfectly fine, but they want to tell you you've only got 15 mil of tread left. Now, any dumb woman would go, right, get the 4 new tyres on. Don't need them. But you go...
Doesn't it be a woman?
9 times out of 10 it is.
Could be a non-binary or a male.
Right. It could be there's another one in it. I mean, I've got a mate who works in a garage, and he told me all the things he's told to say.
Aye.
He worked for Volvo. Check this out. He worked for Volvo.
Right.
I must have went on a rant about... I know exactly what it was I went on a rant about, because Maria nearly fell for the fucking... They tell you about the safety levels of your brakes and your tyres or something like that.
Aye,
right? She's went on a fucking... and I went, listen, hen. Anyway, my mate worked for Volvo, and he said they've got a list of shit that they need to tell everybody solely to get more work in.
Yep.
And they say it in such a way where they put it in you, Mr. Gibson, you've got 14 mil left on your tyre. It'll be coming up. It'll be needing change shortly. Now, shortly could mean a fucking year's time.
Aye.
But they put it in such a way where you go, fuck me, man. I need to get some new tyres.
I know.
It's just all designed to fucking pump you, rape you for money.
But that's why, again, do you know what? Sometimes I think they can sense that if you've got money. Do you know what I mean?
By the prices that they offer you.
Because see, now when I get in a garage, I'm just like, is that going to get a pull? Like, I don't care. See if they go like, there's Mr. Gibson, your back tyre is getting to the dangerous levels. Just deadpan. Like, I don't know if it's the way I walk in now. They just know, don't give me any shite.
Well, I think what a good leveler is, see if you go into anywhere, and you're all, hi, I'm just wondering that you're just going to get pumped. See if you just go, you all right, mate? You want to fucking give us a horn here? Can you help us out?
Aye.
I was in for instance, I was in Quick Fit, and I had a fucking flat tire. It was at a time when I had something like fucking 4 punctures in a week. I had nails all in my driveway, and I was driving somewhere, and the fucking wheel, and I went into Quick Fit. Can you fix that? And they went, you need a new tire. We don't have the tires. And I went, well, you want to fucking blow it up to drive up the road? And they went, I can't, mate, because it could blow out or whatever. It's not safe, right? Now, any other cunt would have went, all right. I went, mate, pump up my fucking tyre. How the fuck am I meant to get up the road?
Aye.
And he went, I honestly can't do this. I can get the sack and blah, blah, blah. And I went, give me the fucking pump. I'll blow it up myself. Can't do that either because we're not insured. And I went, look, I'm no lean here driving up the road and fucking my wheel up because you want to blow up my fucking tyre.
Yeah.
The manager guy came over and I went, look, don't give me any fucking shite about insurances. I'll pump up the fucking tyre so as I get out here. I'd buy a tyre off you if you fucking had it. And then he ended up just letting me do it. I pumped it up myself and the two of them stood at the other side of the shop as if they didn't know anything about it.
I don't know when it's changed or when it's happened, when it's like all this red tape and customer service stuff and blah, 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 blah. Quick Fit's one of the worst. I had my tyre went on that old Polo and I've came round the guys going, mate, you shouldn't have driven it. I went, how the fuck am I going to get here? he went, I know, mate, but listen, I could have put a new tyre on that. Says, brilliant, man, because I was going to Birmingham. I remember I was going to Birmingham for the Glare. I was like, mate, stick a tyre on that. I need to get going. And he went, what it is, man? Like, you've obviously driven a couple of miles on that, mate, because the hub's been fucked out. And I was like, come here, big man. So we went at the end of the car park. I says, do you see that big tree there? He went, aye. I says, that's the house I've driven for, mate. So you tell me how that's a couple of mile. And then lo and behold,
right.
a tyre goes on and everything's fine.
And you're off.
It's just a case that it feels like, see if it is like a chain of garages, as if their mind's going, right, what's connected to that? What's connected to that? What else can I tell them
fucking get money off. I think that part of the chain, right, this is how you fix this is how you fix this, and this is how you rip off a customer.
I mean, you only see, we've all heard the adverts on the radio where, see, whenever you hear things advertised for tradesmen, it always talks about how, you know, our app or our website is reliable, they're vetted, they're pre-approved. And you're like, you shouldn't have to advertise an industry where you're having to tell people, listen, this guy's all right, by the way, we've vetted him, he's cool. Because it just shows you how many cowboys are out there, you know, just looking to rob pensioners of their money.
Quick Fit again, right? Just solely because it was done for my house. I had my motor in there once, and the cunts phoned up and went, yeah, your handbrake's seized, the fucking back brakes are seized, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have to fix this. It's going to cost you this. And it was fucking stupid though, right?
And the money's ridiculous, man. The money's ridiculous.
I said, just fucking get the thing off the ramp. I'll take it away. No, we can't do that because it's no safe. And I went, mate, it was working before. I fucking got it in. I'm not paying whatever it is. Hit it with a fucking hammer, whatever you need to do, get it fucking fixed, right? And I actually went to my wee guy who fixes my motor.
Yep.
And I said to him, I got it down there at Quick Fit for whatever. I think it was tyres again. And they've hit me with the brakes hangs and all that. And where I stayed in Paisley, there was a garage right across the road from me. The wee guy looked after my motor all the time. And for punctures and that, I had to go to Quick Fit. And he's like, listen, they're cunts. I used to work for fucking some place in Aberdeen, and they've all been stung. Like, the company's been done for thousands because they're told on how to get more money off you. So I went down and they had it all off the ramp, all working. And I went, so what? It was fucking welded. You know, you couldn't fucking use a handbrake. No, one of the boys managed to hit it with a hammer. It's working now. They'd been caught, man.
I mean, I'm not going to say his name, right? Because say
his name.
No, because he probably would lose his job. That's how fucking shite the company is.
Right.
A mate of mine worked with National Tyre, so I used to always take my car to him and see if it needed work. He would come out and he would give me this big fucking spiel like, okay, Mr. Gibson. I remember the first day down it.
Even though your mate?
Listen to me. He'd be like, Mr. Gibson, is it you? I'm like, Mr. Gibson, what the fuck are you talking about? He went, just fucking shut up. So his boss is standing, went, Mr. Gibson, the Mini, and I'm like, what the I went, right, okay, I went, so it's going to need this, mate. And see, the first time, it was like £700. I went, are you joking me? I'm looking at him, and he's making a face as if to say, shut up, you fat bastard.
Roll with me.
In the fucking car. So that's the first time it happened. So I'm driving off going, I'll not say his name. I was like, fucking cunt, man, fucking mate, blah, blah. Then he phoned me and he's like, fuck's sake, you fucking cunt, I'm trying to fucking get you to get the fucking shop. Long story short, see if he's to fix that under the national tyres or whatever the fuck it's called. It's costing me ridiculous money. See if I take that in a Sunday. Mate, he's fixing that with the same parts. The same, everything's getting done the exact same, but he's doing it and he's doing it for cash. So he'll order a part for somewhere else, get the part in, and then all he's doing is using the ramp on a Sunday when it's shut to go in and fix it for his mates. And he's making a good bit of coin off it for a tenth of the price that you've been paying for them to do it.
Mental.
That's why people are so... I think that's why a lot of people now are buying cars on finance or lease or direct from... Like the Mini we got... Well, it's my missus' car, right? She bought that direct from Mini. And I can remember saying, you probably get it cheaper if you went here, but she's got like a package with them where they wash it once a month. Everything's like, you know,
What?
and it's all, I take the motor in, they wash it and valet it. It's all taken care of. And to be fair, it wasn't as anywhere near as expensive as I thought. And I think that's why a lot more people are doing that, because they're sick of garages taking the piss out of them. They're sick of buying a motor. When I was young, you'd buy a motor for
also,
200.
a new motor, everything's on, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Under warranty.
So, everything's under warranty. Even the paint, the alloys, everything. You get a scratch in the alloys, new alloys on, everything's covered. Everything's covered. But when I was young, you get a motor for 200 quid and you ran it out the ground.
Oh, fucking right you did.
Where the difference now is, if you buy a motor at £200 or you buy a motor at £5,000, you're getting the same length of time with it. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's built to last anymore. So you're going to get ripped off eventually. So you might as well get something you can just hand the keys back on, or you go down the other and you just buy a load of bangers, and then as soon as it crashes, you fucking fill it with petrol and torch it, and then off you pop.
What you find out, but with your lease motor when you take it back, is you're probably over the mileage. They'll day you for chipped alloys and fucking this, that, and next thing, and your final payment will be X amount on top of. Oh wait a minute, I didn't know about that.
But that again,
well, if you read this and that,
but that's why you go to the company that makes the car. That's why you don't go to like Arnold Clark or any of that shit, because they're as much pirates as the rest, mate. Arnold
we're all
Clark
fucking
is the biggest.
pirates.
Mate, the world's burning, mate. We need fucking Calibrica, I'm telling you.
But listen, so
to go back to the question, Glenn, I don't think I've ever been ripped off by a tradesman. Is the true answer.
Here is the thing.
Yes.
I think if you think you've not been ripped off by a tradesman, you probably have. You just don't know you have.
Oh, God damn it.
There is the answer. There is the answer. And there's a tradesman merrily walking down your driveway.
Do you know one thing I will say?
Another mug bites the dust.
And I'll give a bit of advice to any young heroes out there who may be buying their first home or doing some home improvements. Find somebody who comes highly rated from a member of family. Right? I have got the phone number of a handyman that my mother has used since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And see if I phone him in the past when I've went, I need this done or I need that done in the house. He's came and done it, and he's done an incredible job. See if I've ever phoned him and he went, I can't make it. Do not call anybody else. Just wait until that man is available. Because see, as soon as you go down the road of, right, I'll start looking now, you'll always get done. The best one is when I had a guy who wants to come and do a bit of tiling, and I told him what the boy was going to charge me. And see, when I told him, he went, oh, how can he do it for that, man? I couldn't even buy the parts for that. I'm like, get the fuck out of the house, mate. Just fuck off then.
I know
what
what you're saying.
Fuck off.
I tell you what's good, but you did get some good tradesmen out there, I know. When I moved to this house, I've got an oil fucking burner. An oil, what is it called? Oil fucking heats.
Oil heating.
Oil heating, right? Now, it's this fucking monstrosity in a fucking bunker outside the house.
It's brilliant. I love oil heating.
And it wasn't working. Now, I'm going, right, switch it on and off. I don't know enough about this to get a kick and go, okay, that's what that is, right? Nothing.
Mate, you got to learn.
Oh, so I phoned up another guy in the village who's fixed my water, went, that's the guy you want to speak to. He's a good guy. Right? And I went, thanks very much. I phoned him up and he went, mate, I'm fucking chocker now. I can get to you 2 days. I went, I've not got any fucking heating in the house. He went, listen, take the tap off it. Mm-hmm. And he told me 2 different things to try. He goes, if it's one or the other, you've saved yourself an 80 quid call-out charge. He goes, I shouldn't even be telling you this, but I don't want to leave you without heating.
Yep.
And the fucking two things that you tell us, one fixed it, and the other one I've used several times since, and no needing to call that guy out. He's probably saved me a good, I don't know, say at least 3 call-outs.
Do you know what, man?
And I'll actually, if anything goes wrong, I'm phoning that cunt.
Aye.
Because he didn't need to be that helpful. And I thought,
it's a good
power
man.
to you, brother. Power to you.
Good man. I missed the oil heating. See, I had to call the guy out the first time, right? Because, mate, couldn't get it on. Could not get it fucking on, right? But a month later, the heating's working fine. The cottage was fucking roasty toasty. Everything's lovely. And then bang, it trips and it goes off. Found out there's a switch in the kitchen that it was like tripping it when you were turning the cooker off or you were switching something off. It was tripping the heater outside and it was turning the box off. But see, when he came back out the second time, I was like, mate, whatever the call it was or whatever the fee was, I was like, I'll give you a bit extra. You just need to explain to me the basics
what I need to do to fix it.
of what I'm doing here. And he's like, right, fine. Sat down. He's like, this valve does that. That trip does that. That resets it. That's how you do this. And since then, they only had to call me another once in the 2 odd years or whatever it is I was in that place. But see, as long as you can understand the basic, man, I thought the oil heating was great. And it's one of those things where it is going to trip or it is going to stop working every now and again. You got to go out and
It's
fucking...
expensive, but...
mate, it must be... I mean, obviously, my cottage was nowhere near the size of your house, right? So you're warming a bigger house, but I used to maybe fill that up and I'd get about 10 months out of it.
Fucking hell.
Like 1,600 litres, and I'd get almost a year at it, really, if we done it properly.
So to cap, if you're a Patreon who's a tradesman, look
Yes.
it up in your monthly subscription because we know you're ripping us all off. You fucking.
Do you know what?
dirty
I wonder if there's any heroes. There must be who have got their own business. You know,
I'm sure there will be.
if they'd want to us to give them a shout out, you know, and possibly a hero discount
now,
for fellow
is that
heroes.
beautiful. Is that beautiful?
How nice would that
Reaching
be
out to the patrons?
to create like a kind of a Masons-esque
Yes.
family, you know, where we do a kind of hashtag symbol, you know, and you get a wee 10 £10 off your bill, you know, because you're a hashtag.
And we could have like their logos oil is
Yeah.
just us peeking through a wee hole. Hi, welcome to episode 525 of the hashtag show, sponsored by, and then it's a sponsors.
But listen, if you're watching this or you're listening to this as a patron and you've got your own business as a hero, fully fledged, paid up member of the Heroes, get in touch and let us know, because it would be good to give us a wee shout out. You never know, there could be somebody local to you who's a hero. And
Here's a mad thing. Oh, it's a fucking Patreon club, right?
Come on,
If we know what the patrons' businesses are, right?
Yep.
We can set up a wee network. So as if anybody needs something done and that person's in their area, they could then do something for a fellow patron,
there
a
you
wee
go.
discount.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean? I'm looking for a bit of fucking some cunt to do this for us. Well, fucking patron number 756. Talk to him.
And listen, it doesn't have to be a discount, you know, because let's be honest, times are tough. But for example, if I'm picking between two and I know one is a hashtag hero, I'm going with the heroes, because I know instantly you're a better person. So get in touch if you've got a business. Get in touch with us through the Patreon.
I was in my flat waiting for BT to fucking fix a phone.
Bastards,
Again,
mate. Absolute
Opened
bastards.
the door and the guy went, "Hi, I'm BT." He went, "Are you Mallorca Lee?"
Oh no!
Right, and I went, you know,
You're like,
shucks.
on your knees,
Yeah, I'm
on your
used to
knees,
that. Can I
sailor.
carry on? Yeah, I'm used to that. And I went, "Aye, how?
Aye,
I'm a hashtag hero."
No way.
And I was just like, "Fucking come in. You know me. I don't know you, but you know me
Hey,
now. You know
come
what
on
I'm
in.
all about. Come
Come
in.
on in.
Scud mags, pot noodles, make yourself at home." But that kind of shit, I love that shit.
Right. Another question.
Certainly.
We've got a lot here. Douglas Kane. Douglas has asked, do you guys collect anything? I am a comic collector. If you do collect it, is there any one golden item you value more than anything? And what's the best, worst thing you've done at a party? That's 2 questions, Douglas, you cheeky wee scamp.
Oh, sneak that
do
in there.
you collect anything, Mal?
Yeah,
Broken hearts.
synthesizers.
Hymens.
Broken hearts and used John Dons.
Well, you do collect the old 303s and the 959s and the 414s.
I have got a weakness for vintage synthesizers again, that's kind of tying into my music and all that. Vintage drum machines and vintage synthesizers. I have spent tens of thousands on over the years, and I could quite easily spunk every penny I've got buying more. But
But sure,
I'm
how
A,
do
I'm
you-
not allowed, and B, I can't do it.
Why do you need any more? Is it a case of you just want hunters, or is there ones in particular that you would want? For example, one that was owned by another musician, or one that was used in a song or something?
Well, I don't know, not so much owned by another musician, but if that said musician used it in that said track or that kind of genre, you'd want to kind of hunt that down to get that sound. But for me, it's
Is
kind of
there any ones that are like that? Like, you know of a song that uses a synthesizer that you like, that you would go, fuck, I'd love to have that one?
aye, quite a few.
Well, just throw one out there then, you dick.
Well, a lot of it I've got, you know what I mean? So there's Roland make drum machines, right? And
Yeah.
there's a specific range called the TR, right?
Right.
TR 909 is the backbone of every fucking dance track beat you've heard, right?
Yep.
That drum machine alone, you know, they only made, I don't know how many fucking thousand of them in the 80s.
Yep.
It's worth about $3,000. I've got
Jesus.
mine.
Jesus.
There's a TR 808 was came out before that, which basically made hip hop and electro. Got one of them. They're sitting about fucking $3,000. They're lesser known models and less successful, but still in the range. There's the TR 727, 707, 606, 505. I've got the full range. Now, I don't even use them. They're boxed. I used them for my Acid and Eve project because that was the sound I was after.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I don't use them, it's full weak at the knees shit knowing that I've got them. Now, I've got other synthesizers that I've slowly been buying again because I've had them and sold them. Now I'm in my studio building that up.
Yeah.
I will probably end up fucking spending money on collecting old synths again, even though I probably won't use them as much as I should. It's that train collectors, like your man Douglas collecting his comics. I'm not interested in comics. I think he's a fucking weirdo. He probably thinks I'm a fucking weirdo because he's not interested in synths. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? If you're into it, you're into it. There's no explaining, no understanding needed. That's what I'm into. He's into his comics. I'm into synths. You're into vintage case catalogues, whatever. We've all got our wee thing that we're
But
into.
is there one out there that if you could get it would be like the dream synth or drum machine? Like,
I would buy it.
signed by a...
Signed is so my 909 is signed by the majority of fucking folk that I've worked with, right? So it's going to be worth mental dough, right? Because it's extra signed. The only kind of thing that I would buy, just boom geese it, is a TR 808. Even though I've got one, I would buy another one because these things don't go down in value; they just go up, and they're steeped in so much history.
TR 808.
Yeah, Roland TR 808. Even the colours, you know, like. I do paintings with the using the colours. I do t-shirts with the colours. Everything about it.
Right, there's one here on Gear for Music for £320. So I take it that's not what we're talking about.
That's not Roland TR 808.
Aye, Roland TR 808.
You'll not get one. You'll not get one cheaper than. You'll be lucky if you get one for £2,500 now. You can't find one.
I'm finding loads, but they're all saying £320, £310.
No, you're searching something else.
Roland TR 808.
Drum machine.
Aye.
No, you're looking at a TR8 or something like that.
Anyway. TR8.
I mean, you'll see it in my crash satellite setup, my makeshift setup, just to make a fucking noise. I've got loads of vintage synths and stuff. You know, I could pull things out of the side. I recently got an Alpha Juno 2, which is a famous 80s synth, because I wanted a specific sound and the editing facilities that it does. Everybody's got something to geek out on. And I know what? There's probably guys with porn collections and vintage porn collections that they're collecting, not just for the choffing. They're there because it's like, that's like a vintage fucking Ron Jeremy or something like that. I don't know.
No, nobody's.
I bet you there's a porn collector. I bet you there is. Scud Mag's definite.
Nobody's admitting it anyway.
Aye, it's not like you pull that.
So
out
you,
of fucking,
I don't collect anything. There's nothing that I collect.
you just, I think
Memories.
what you do is you just
Memories.
buy hundreds of shit. Like
I
you
don't
just
buy
get into
hundreds of
something. No hundreds of shit. You still smoking cigars,
Aye.
right? That's a wee thing. You're into that.
I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving
You're
it.
beatnik fucking pop-up garages where you go for a fucking venison burger. You just get into things like that. No,
I'm
your
just-
fucking thing.
I'm just getting memories, mate. I'm just creating memories.
Just like
you know what I
that.
mean? Memories. You should make it rain, mate.
You must
where-
have
Yeah.
See, that's the
What?
thing as well. We've had this conversation. You're no invested in music, records, CDs.
I've not got the money to collect anything. No, see if I did
You're a
have the
fucking
money.
weirdo.
See if I had the money, I
You
would
buy
collect
cigars,
trainers,
trainers. Aye.
Nike trainers. I
Here's the
found
thing.
it.
How
I
can you
found a-
collect them? You want to wear them, which ruins them.
No, but if I had say I had like 200 pairs, I could wear like a different pair every day.
See all the fancy Nikes that we wear and all the different colours and all that. Do you know how that originated?
No,
That originated in the Bronx
Nazis.
when the trainers were that fucked that the kids started painting them and dyeing them up to get extra life out of them. And
Right.
that in turn created a fashion which created a multi-billion-dollar industry and so many busy
No.
sweatshops in China.
Aye. I found out a company called Sneaker Exchange.
You swap your sannies.
No, they basically sell vintage and retro, and then also new trainers, mate. And some of these are unbelievable.
See, I've got a weakness for high top Converse. I
Mate.
could buy fucking millions of them.
Nah, Converse isn't on it, but see, like the old Nikes, they've got hundreds like original Air Jordans that look unbelievable. But you're talking maybe $1,000 plus $2,000 for a pair of
I know a
trainers.
boy in Australia who buys all the fucking crazy shit and sells it buys it all when it comes out and then waits and then sells it for mental dough. Like I'm talking mental dough. His Instagram,
If I had the
with all
money,
Jordans and all that kind of shit.
if I had the money, I'd collect trainers, Nike trainers. If I had the money,
To sell, to sell
No,
on.
no, no. I wouldn't. I would never be, and I don't imagine somebody like Douglas is that kind of collector either, where you would buy them up to keep them to sell them on. I don't think that's. I think if you're into something collecting it, you do it because like you want to have them. You know what I mean?
There's something kind of there's something deep that I can't actually get my head. I know it tells it enough to fucking explain what I mean. But so for somebody who is a collector, right, Douglas or me or any of the listeners, and you spend your life, I'm talking about a real collector, right? You spend your finances, your time, weigh them, reading them, playing with them, fucking collecting them, working to get money to buy them, right?
Yep.
And you have them and you enjoy them to die.
Uh-huh.
And then what the fuck goes on there? It gets inevitably binned or passed on to somebody who doesn't appreciate them.
Well, then you
Or
make
given
the
to
choice
somebody who
to
fucking
leave them with somewhere. If you had the thing that I would like about comic books or something like that, when there is a beginning. Do you know what I mean? So like there is something to collect. Like you could complete a collection.
uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? Like same with your like synths and drum machines. Like you could go back and have the very first ever synth created and collect them right up to present. Like you can do that as a full thing.
I don't think you could ever finish collecting that because it's endless.
But
And you wouldn't have enough money to collect that.
But if money was no option,
Right.
no object, same with like comic books. I mean, there's obviously comic books that are like fucking hundreds
Mental
of thousands of pounds. But
Aye.
what I mean is there's a goal there. Like you could be saying, right, I need to try and find a number 6 or whatever the fuck it is. You mean you're going, oh, there's only 12 of them in the world. You'll have fucking need to track. Do you mean there's that? I can understand how people get into that.
Here's the
Like,
buzz.
same with
Finding
Gary.
finding something in a second-hand store or a jumbo sale,
Aye, that's,
collectible comic book that's worth a fucking fortune, and
I
you get
know.
it for 50 pence.
I know.
There's like the holy grail in it. Or,
Aye, but
'cause
how
I've done
often
it with
does that
synths.
happen?
I've done that with drum machines and that. I bought it out of Victor Morris for fucking things for 250 quid, and it's worth $3,000.
I bet your wee arsehole was less, man, going, get me up a
Unbelievable.
road. Get me
I
up a
didn't,
road.
even, I didn't even have the money on me. And I got the money off my mate who was standing beside me, trying to keep my cool,
Aye.
thinking the guy's going to tipple me here.
Yep.
But that feeling, that rush of getting that, knowing the value, not just to you, but in the general fucking market of interest is a fucking buzz, man. That's when I gave up the heroin.
That's when I hate like when you go to some of the charity shops, and I've seen it in 2 charity shops where they've put a sign up saying, if you are a collector, please remember us when you collect
What a
your
charity.
big profit. Because there's cunts that go in and go, fuck me, that's G-Plan or whatever the fuck it is, you mean? And they go,
Sell
much
it
you
on.
want for that? And they're like, £15, son, we can deliver it for a £5. And they keep the cool, and then they go and sell it to some arsehole in the West End for 12 grand. You know what I mean? And you're like, the 2 signs I saw were basically, if you make a fucking stinking profit off us, I'm going to come back and make a donation.
I remember it's a charity. Now, some charity shops are hip with that, and they fucking actually put the eBay prices and all that, and they've got it already on eBay. I noticed a wee while ago, I was in the British Heart Foundation, and they've got some of their fucking nice pieces already listed on eBay. And it's like, if you want that, you have to bid for it on eBay. So it's good to see that maybe young folk are helping the charity to achieve the money that it can get. Because I've bought things at a charity shop that I know are cool as fucking, they're worth a lot more than what they're getting. And I actually have to stop myself from haggling. Because I'll also still get
a charity shop, you bastard.
if I'm buying a lot of shit at a charity shop, I'll still haggle. But I've stopped that because I actually remembered. I can't remember
it's
what I
a
was doing.
charity, you dirty bastard.
I know, exactly. That's what I had to tell myself. But I get into, there's something good about bartering and haggling. And then it was in this place in particular that I go to quite a lot. I think, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was haggling with the guy. Now, you'll love this, Scott. He broke down greeting and ran into the back shop.
Are you kidding me on?
No.
Mate,
right?
you are grim.
And he was actually quite cheeky to me. Right?
Good.
I was having a bit of a barter with him, a laugh. I thought.
Oh, you're taking the piss at him.
Well, check this out.
Mate, the cunt's probably on the spectrum. He probably gets him and fucking takes slices off his shins.
It gets better. His colleague comes up to us. And at first I was like, yeah, what's with fucking him? He's called me fucking whatever it was and ran away. He went, he's having a rough week. His wife's just died of cancer.
Fuck's sake. And you're haggling with the bastard.
And I'm haggling with the guy. But I know I'd had cracks with him before.
You're a fucking dirty bastard.
And then since that moment, I thought, I'm no haggling in charity shops now.
What a lovely story.
What it is.
What a lovely story. See, since the day that I made a grieving widow fucking greet,
he must have been in his. It was.
No to haggle with a charity shop.
He was at least in mid-60s. I made him cry.
See, anytime, I'm not just saying this because what you just said there. See, anytime that I have got furniture for a charity shop, which I have done a couple of times in the past, see if it's like £72 or £88, round it up. It's a charity. Yeah,
no,
honestly,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Hey, that's how the rich stay rich. You tight bastard.
Yes. That's right.
Guys in there,
that's how
I've lost my
dream
wife.
about your lottery wins. Dream about them, you know.
I've lost my wife and this fucker's haggling her a £5. The dirty bastard.
Well, that's exactly what it was. It was like fucking, he caught me all the cunts of the day and ran through the back. And then I went, it was thinking, I'd knock this fucking head off the old cunt. And then his pals come up to us and went, he said, they're off week. His wife's died and he's just he's sick of haggling. And I fucking felt horrible. And listen, see if you're listening there, don't ever call me that again, you old prick.
Unbelievable.
I know where you stay. I followed him home that night.
Right.
So I fucking set fire to his bins.
To get back to the question.
Smashed his back window.
You collect sins and I collect memories.
I collect broken-hearted men's feelings.
Oh, right, I've got another question for you. You can talk to the heroes for 10 seconds till I let the dog out of this room because he's gone mad. Hold on.
I don't know what name these bits so.
I know, I like these bits, so just you talk for 10 seconds.
Hi, Patrons. You've got me for 10 seconds. I'd like to say that I do feel bad about how I treated that old man in the charity shop. Joking, tough guy talk aside, I fucking feel horrible about it. And I no longer haggle in charity shops. I'm not proud of that. It was a period in my life where, life was a game. And I was one of its many players. And I didn't stop or consider anyone else's feelings in that game. I played to win. I'm a born winner. But sometimes you need to let someone else win, I think is the message I'm trying to put out there. And yeah, here's Scott back. Thank you.
What were you saying?
Not much, mate. Not much. Just,
I always worry when I leave and you come back with that wee cheeky smile on your face.
I'll just let you thought I was saying all sorts of abuse. Hey, I just basically said,
Up there, ah.
up there are the Derry boys,
Big up the LGBT.
the black and tans, all that kind of chat. And also, if you haven't already, there's a couple of days left in my Ultrasonic Kickstarter. If you want a copy of the CD or the album, get yourself out to Kickstarter. Support the underground. God bless.
Support the underground, man. Rise against the machines. Right, is there anything you've got to discuss? Anything burning questions? I've got loads of questions here for you, man. Loads of questions.
Let's get a couple of more questions in, and you answer the questions. Don't just say, what do you think?
Gail Tyndall, a heroine, has asked about face masks. Asking, would you consider wearing a Darth Vader style protective face visor for using public transport, or do you boys have another mask stroke visor in mind? What can people wear whilst strutting about the town to shop to stop the spread of COVID? Safety first. Have you got a mask?
I have, but as I've said before,
I would go for a big a welder's helmet. I'd be quite happy with one of them.
There's probably collectors out there who actually have Darth Vader masks, full like replicas, and they're just in the fucking.
I couldn't wear that, but I would go with the. I've seen women in shops with the visors, like fucking vibey hairdressers, the pure plastic with a bit of foam. I've seen a lot of them. Let's be honest, right? There is a lot of mask, face coverings, snobbery. Where see any of the women that I've seen like in Greg's or vibey hairdressers that have got those visors, they think they're the fucking queen bee because their mask is bigger than mine.
It's not going to be long until you get Gucci shit and all that on the go.
Mate, it's already happening. Every Fitbit team's got a mask with their logo on it, so you can go and get a kick and walk down the street going, "Hey, you fucking orange bastard!" Oh. Everybody's
take
got
your scarf off. In your mask, I can't.
COVID.
I'm going to have to take the kicking.
Do you know what I saw the other day, mate? And when I first saw it, I laughed, and then when I looked at it again, I went, "Fuck's sake, man!" It's a gin company who have created a mask that has a tiny little like pouch, like wee window, and you fold the window down, and it's got a wee bit for a straw to go through.
Ridiculous.
So you can still soak your gin. I was like,
aye.
It's mad to think that only in the UK, right? Only in Britain would we be going, I can't fucking get a bevy because I've got a mask on.
All right. How can I? If only I could lift this up to drink my drink.
Have you seen the
You're
video?
A fucking retard.
Are the two people recording the old couple eating their dinner in a restaurant in America, and they've cut a line in the mask, and they're like, wah, and they're eating their dinner through the mask. And it looks like two Muppets are like, wah, 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 wah. The guy's pure shoving chips in, and the couple's like, what the fuck's going on? And then the woman catches him. She's like, are you filming us? The two of them have just put a slice across the
fucking
mask.
Morons.
Wah, wah.
I seen one of an old guy who's got the full face mask. He's having a cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit, and he dips his biscuit in, and it fucking goes like that right into the face mask. I didn't even know it on.
You could drink a pint through your mask.
I just do your head.
No, you could just suck it through the material.
Listen,
you
just go like that, lift it up. Then I'm a great believer in, and I think there will be a time, like the tights. The tights. That's the best mask. You know what I mean? Put your sunglasses on your mask. You're invisible again. Nobody knows you. You're like a fucking SAS guy.
I would be up for getting a visor or like a welder's mask. Or
balaclava.
A balaclava? How do we not just all wear balaclavas? Do you think you just kick about in a motorbike helmet? Like, I'm
just the big heavy ones. Just like...
Hundreds of Wayne's just leaning out a fucking pram with a big head getting dragged about.
Necks like fucking Lou Ferrigno. Just fucking
But
like that, man.
if you had a motorbike helmet, you could wear that as a mask, surely.
No in a bank or in like, oh, get out.
I saw a picture of the guy who had like the kind of like the Indian gold. It's like gold chains
Oh,
like around
Jesus
there.
Christ,
So it
aye.
looks like a mask, pure fucking strutting his stuff. But that's the thing. I can tell, especially because I'm in a vibey part of Edinburgh, right? I see guys and lassies walking in the street and they've made their own mask for like a bit of clipping or an old pillowcase or something, and they strut with their face out as if I'm better than you because I've made my mask. You're like, mate, I've got a giant loaf.
know.
I need to buy a special mask for my head.
I know.
Fuck off.
I had my brother gave us, or it was my dad gave us ones, and it's got the wee fucking breathing thing, like quite a solid
See,
one.
that's
but
the
now-
one I want. With like the painter's one, it's got the two big fucking.
No, it's just the one bit at the
valves.
front. But now I'm just using the paper ones because they're lighter and easier to put in your pocket when you're not using it. But what I think's funny is we're on masks now, right?
So it's easier for the aliens to walk among us.
No lizard faces and that. The conspiracy, I don't know if it's because of lockdown.
Lizard face, you're pure sucking.
I don't know if it's because of lockdown. Conspiracy theories have went through the fuck. See, mind when we used to just kind of laugh at flat earthers and that. No, it's unbelievable the amount of fucking conspiracy theories that are kicking about.
I know what, mate. I was talking about conspiracy theories on my podcast, which is available as well. Some of the ones that are going out about that are absolute insanity.
Look, the pedo hanging on that, Pizzagate and everything.
Pizzagate, the stuff that we talked about as well about the Earth being hollow, and all sorts, mate. But
Folk
again,
have got too much time in their hands. They're sitting in the house, half cut, coming up with bullshit.
but also the gap between the haves and the have-nots has never been wider. Like 10, 15 years ago, you know, like think about it this way. See, when we were young, right? When we were young,
When I was young.
we were young, the idea of being a millionaire was so far out of your reach that
Still
that
is.
was like the thing. But do you know what I mean? Like when I was a wee guy, see if someone was a millionaire, you're like, he's got £1 million. Fucking hell. Whereas see now, see if you had £1 million, good for you. What you did? Paying your mortgage off. Then what you got to do? You've maybe got 400 grand left. Right? So you're still going to have to work. So now it's a billionaire. And now, even for that, there's so many billionaires in the world. It's now who can be the first trillionaire or who can get to the first billion.
I don't
So
think it's that common the way you're talking.
Mate, you think when we were young, we didn't even know what a billionaire was? Well, that wasn't even a thing.
Because you were young, you had no sense of the world, of
No,
business.
that level of wealth outside of Saudis or royal families, no one knew what especially when I'm only talking about me. When I was a wee guy growing up, no, the word billionaire didn't exist.
But it's still less than a percentage of fucking folk who have got the door.
But what I'm
compared to who
saying
haven't.
is because of technology, social media, we now have access to billionaires, right?
Oh, and to see what their life's all about and all
So,
that kind of part.
5 years ago, when somebody said to you, there is an island that they take children and they fuck children on an island, you'd be like, don't be stupid.
Disneyland.
5-10 years later, you're like, of course there is. What else are these cunts going to do? May I have said to you for years, people have laughed at me, think I'm stupid. The rumours that we're going about is that Tom Cruise goes to a sex island. It gets 10 Filipino men on the island and he releases them. He then hunts them, he catches them, and he fucks them on the island. Now, you're telling me that doesn't sound as if that could happen? Of course
And
it
also,
is.
how good does that sound? It's like a fucking sexy version of Hunger Games with Tom Cruise in it, and you get to see him running. That sounds like
He's wee mad fucking dead fast, no movement run.
he's wee here.
Does all his own stunts. Stunts.
He actually has a contract that he has to run in all his films. It's written into his contracts. Any Tom Cruise film,
Mate, he loves
he
running.
runs in every one of them.
Loves running.
He loves running and pumping Filipinos.
There you go. That's the ones I heard, right? Tom Cruise has got a sex island that he hunts men on, right?
Mhm.
And the other one I heard is that Dame Judi Dench takes up the farter.
Listen,
Fact. She loves her
That's
husband.
fact.
Will never cheat on him. The front end, that's for the husband.
aye, that's
But
his.
when she's on set and she's getting the runners, you're in the back. You're
Backends for the
in
builders.
in the tradesman. you're in the trades entrance. That's what I heard, mate. Partly Judi Dench is dishing it out left, right, and centre up with tradesmen.
There's all these, there's all these fucking crazy conspiracy theories, right? But still, my favourite, and it'll be hard to top, is the one that you tell me about Lisa Stansfield keeping her shites on top of her boxes.
Oh, mate,
No,
that's fact.
I
That's
don't care.
fact.
I actually don't care so much about an island where they scare Waynes to get the fucking juice out them to keep the vampires young. I care more of, I want to find and expose at least one Tupperware box with Lisa Stansfield shit in it. I've
Yeah.
been around the world and
I can't find my
Beautiful.
Tupperware. That's what I want to collect. I want to collect Lisa Stan. The fact that nobody
No,
has
what a
brought
collection.
the fact that nobody's brought out a Tupperware range that is fronted by Lisa Stansfield. That is how you turn that situation around. See, if I was her agent and she's like, I can't show my face in public, people think I'm
Tupperware
shite in a
parties.
tub, you better leave it with me. I'm going to get the biggest Tupperware company in the world and you're going to be the face of it and we're going to laugh about it. You can keep
Well, it's
anything in these Tupperwares.
I've been around the world and I can't find my baby.
Because I left him in a fridge and a fucking ham on.
I've been around the world. And it's just wee Tupperware boxes floating on her
Dancing.
with like wee brown logs in them.
Just taking Tupperware out of her fridge and like to her, Lisa, is this a curry? And then she's like, maybe.
And imagine like there's some wee kind of team take it on themselves. We need to out her. We need to make this public. And what?
Aye, who cares?
Who cares? Lisa, you fucking shite Tupperware hen. How do you feel about that? Well, there's fuck all wrong with that. What are you going to do about it? Then
Mate,
you're like, but you shite Tupperware boxes. And what? You want to see me collection? But Lisa.
How much of the stuff that comes out in the news, it amazes me still that people don't think this is all a distraction.
From reality.
Even if that came into Lisa Stanfield shouts in Tupperware, I don't care. Some rapper on shouting and fucking nonsense about Jewish people, I don't care. There is a group of billionaires that run the planet killing, raping and murdering children on a sex island. That is what you should be focusing on.
No, it's no, because it's this.
Here we go.
It's this. This is what
Here
I
we
love. No, I'm agreeing with you, but this is it, right? The government are like that. Listen, see fucking that boy Duncan that stays down the road for you. He's working on the side and he's getting at least 50 quid, maybe 100 quid a week doing
Aye.
homers. He's no paying tax on them.
Yep.
We want to clamp down on cunts like this. Wait a minute. Forget about the bankers. Forget about the trillions. See all these cunts in your street that are making me £50 homers. These cunts are criminals.
Aye.
And we need to come down hard and teach them a lesson.
Aye.
But what about, forget about the vampires and all these cunts. What about just the bankers who are just siphoning and raping us for trillions every year?
Yep.
Listen, what about fucking forgetting about the guys? It's these wee cunts. Grass them in. And here's a number.
Of course
we
it
should
is.
grass them in. We should have a number to grass in arsehole bankers.
Mate, you have got banks bailed out by this country, bailed out
mental.
by taxpayers' money. Then the head of those banks are giving themselves £1 million bonuses. You've got people who put us in the financial crisis getting £1 million bonuses. You have got people doing backhanded trade deals, government deals, even deals at council level. We backhanders under the table, and you've got to grass your pal in because he's went and done somebody's gutters for £50 cash.
I know. Fucking what, you don't put that through the books? You fucking dirty cunt. I'm paying my taxes and you've took a fucking blackhander right in the back pocket.
All the stuff that's growing me
Raging.
like Epstein and the Ghislaine Maxwell. I just wish they would come out and give us names. That's all. I just want more names. Like, you know that the Clintons are involved. That Epstein apparently has got a picture of Bill Clinton in a dress hanging up in his Manhattan home. Mate, at that time, he is the president of the United States of America, and you've got a picture of him, a painting in a dress.
Apparently, to show people how powerful they were, they
Aye.
used to show them videos of other high-end fucking people fucking and crazy kinky shit. Again,
Sick.
I don't know anything about this. I'm just going a lot with Facebook bullshit and memes, and I'm not digging too much into it because I ain't got time for it. I'm very much sticking my head in the sand kind of guy, unless I have to deal with something face on.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
the problem is part of the solution, in the sense that the problem is nobody knows anything, which enables everyone to take these tiny little bits of information they get and blow them into huge conspiracies. But that benefits them, because by the time the truth actually comes out, the truth probably will be
Saturated
less
bullshit.
than some of the nonsense. So it makes it seem as if they haven't done as bad as what they've done. Does that make sense? Does that
Aye,
make sense,
no.
mate?
I think it does, aye.
But to go back to the question, would you be happy wearing a visor on a sex island? Imagine Tom Cruise hunting. Imagine him running through the jungle, hunting you.
You'd get somebody who's a Tom Cruise fan who would go, no, you realise you're going, you will
No,
he will
but-
fuck you and kill you. But you
mate,
get to meet Tom Cruise
that
who
isn't
lives
what
on a
that isn't
Tahitian
what he
island.
wants. That is, he feeds off the fear. You know,
Tom, can you sign this for me? Shut it and run.
if Tom Cruise was to go, listen, see if he was to put on Twitter, I want 20 people to come and meet you on an island.
Be
I'm going
inundated.
to hunt you. I'm going to have sex with you, and then I'm going to kill you, mate. He would have tens of thousands of people agreeing to that.
You get at least 9 series reality TV show. Out of that.
He doesn't want. He wants the thrill of the chase, the hunt.
What would it be called? Right, Tom Cruise on an island.
It's Tom Cruise Sex Island.
No, it's got to be punchier than that. So let's break it down what it is, right?
Right.
We're auditioning. What's the premise of this show, mate? Well, basically, we're looking for
Tom Cruise.
We pick 10 people. We put them in a remote, inescapable island where they have to face
Millport. Tom Cruise on Millport, because it's an island, but it's small enough that you can get in it. 10
You
people.
can run on that.
Aye, Tom. That is the trailer. A drone follows Tom Cruise running, and it just pans out, and it's on Millport. Right.
Just Millport.
Tom
The wee fairy
Cruise
pops in.
is on Millport. And we drop 10 people into Millport.
Crocodile Rock.
Right? Last man standing. Tom Cruise is hunting you, and he's going to shag your ass and possibly murder you.
Do you know what? See, thinking about that, I would be up for going, because you can beat him, you can kill him.
Oh, mate, I'd stand behind a rock.
Oh, aye, I'd get a chip.
Nut the cunt. He's 5'4". I'd lure him in. I'd piss all over the
As
grass.
he's running.
Right, so you're gonna fucking pheromones get him, and he's like, and he's hunting me because he wants me, because I'm the big hog. Do you know what I mean? He wants to take me down, and I'd step out behind a rock, and I'd be like, fucking thump, and he'd be gone, mate.
It'd be like the Predator, but Tom Cruise is like the pedo predator. He's like fucking. What that's got? What? And it's fucking
Mate.
Tom Cruise,
Right,
just
what's
fucking
the,
running.
What is the height of Tom Cruise? How
He's something like 5'3" or something.
the
So he could-
he's five,
he could
no,
like-
it says here he's
he's nimble.
5'7". Is he? Fuck, 5'7".
Is he?
He's smaller than that. Right, all right, mate. He's tiny. He's getting leathered.
What a show that would be, right? So he's in Millport. 10 folk just is Millport still populated?
Aye.
It's got to be empty, because then you'd be like, look, Tom Cruise is trying to kill me. He's a knife.
Mate, here, right, listen. The cunt is 5'6", right? And wait till I just do this. He's 5'6", and he's 10.5 stone. Right, mate. I'm 6 foot on the button and 24 stone. You're telling me I step just a bang, like, get up for a heater, like a clearance. Fuck you. Right at that, I'm putting the nose into the back of his skull. He's a goner. Like, this
It's
is
Tom
over on the
Cruise,
first
man.
scene.
It's Tom Cruise. Is he got? I would imagine, right? This is what I would imagine. It would just be Tom Cruise in a pair of 501s, tap off,
501.
hunting. Aye, you know
Well,
what? Pure
like
American.
Levi's.
Aye, just hunting.
Do you know
Possibly
the
even bare feet it.
see in Top Gun? No Top Gun. Is it Top Gun?
Aye, he's maybe get a leather jacket
When he's on
like-
he's on the bike. That's what I'm imagining.
Right. Aye. So he's
White
got
white
gadgets
t-shirt, blue stonewashed
then.
denims,
Right.
and a pair of fucking
He's flight.
Adidas
aviators.
gazelles. the
His
aviators are
aviator
coming
glasses.
off. He's got a black paint on, man. As soon as he gets off the ferry, right, fucking paint's on.
Hey, Tom,
aviators
you paid
off.
your ticket. You paid your ticket, Tom.
It's that boy Tom Cruise, eh? It's for the Mission Impossible. So he's going to go and hunt the boys and fuck them in England, getting fit like.
Is that a return you want, Tom? Or you be staying for 10 days to fucking hunt and kill the cunts?
I don't know. I don't know why they're talking like healing folk when they're in Millport. The cunts in there saying like, you, all right, Tom, you're going to go on the fucking island, Tom.
That's that fucking cunt Tom Cruise, man. Here, Tom, get up, yay.
So I think the first thing is he rides round the island in his motorcycle to get his bearings.
Just intimidate.
Right? And then a klaxon sounds. The 10 people are released, and then Tom goes on the hunt.
How does Tom know between the civilians and who the 10 people is?
Mate,
Because Tom could just be on a killing rampage.
No. We've bought the island. We've cleared it out. There's nothing left.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. Is it
There's
empty? Said, no, there's people there.
No, there's nobody.
I
There's
like
nobody
it being
there.
empty.
There's nobody there. It's a ghost
Ghost
town.
town.
All the towns and houses, they're still there. There's nobody
Brilliant.
in them. So
Brilliant.
you can break into a shop, hide in it.
Eat things, like survival
Aye,
mode and all
that's
that.
it, mate.
Me and you just get caught in a shop, just eating things.
Aye, but then you just kick fuck out Tom Cruise. Because I wouldn't be like, see if I saw Tom Cruise, I'd be like, that's
Come ahead, you prick.
that time of the
Has he
time I
got
saw.
has he got weapons? Is he allowed weapons? Or is it barehanded?
No, we're barehanded.
He's got weapons.
weaponry, traps.
Right. So
He's got the whole island rigged.
because I was thinking, either came like booby traps, you're pulled up into a tree and all
Aye,
that. 'Cause I was thinking,
literal booby traps. You'd go in a corner and there's like two big bucks and Latinos going, Hemalock, and you're like, all right, hen.
oh,
And
yeah.
then fucking boom, you're in a net.
I need to go. Tom Cruise. Oh, wait a minute. I was thinking we
hello.
could set a trap for Tom, right? We
You
could
could,
splay
if you want, aye.
splay you a fallen tree, right? With your arse cheeks cracked open.
Right,
right?
right. Okay,
I'm fucking hiding behind a tree with like an old axe or something.
right.
So Tom's like that, fucking up, and he sees you. He smells the fear. And then he's like, I'm going to take him. And as he comes, he unzips the 501s as he's walking slowly to you.
Yep.
And I just go like that, fuck you in the back of the head with an axe.
Wallop.
He maybe falls D-do you. And
Yep.
you just like, get him off. And that's it, we've won.
That's it, we've won, mate. And then we need to get back to the ferry, and we need to get on the ferry.
Before he wakes up, because he's got
That's
9
it.
lives.
And that's it, we've won.
They fucking, the team flies in and they build him up again. What,
That's it.
reconstruction?
Respawn him. They put him in like a fucking cryo chamber, like an old smeg fridge. Then he comes back out, fucking ready to go.
The face and all that's building back up.
What's that? He done that film where he dies, but he respawns again at the
Aye.
start.
The
You know
day
what I mean?
after tomorrow or fucking something like that.
That's it. There you go, mate. This could be Tom Cruise Murder, Death, Kill Island. Would be
That needs to be catchier than that, man. I'm
the
sure
Millport,
there's some...
Millport Massacre.
The Millport Marathon.
Tom's Island.
Uh,
Tom's Cruise.
Tom's
Done.
Diner.
We can workshop these offline. But mate, what a
What a
program that would
fucking
be.
show, man.
What a program that would be.
But you'd be inundated with cunts joining up, but then you'd get folk going, I would just want him to catch me. I want him to fuck me and kill me. You'd be that level of fans
I
would
know, but
want
then that's
Tom
why
Cruise to do that.
you screen him. I think if I saw Tom Cruise, I wouldn't have been. I'd be like, oh, there he is. I was going to say, did I tell you the time I saw Christian Slater?
Who's all right, aye.
Saw Christian Slater in a hotel in the outskirts of Edinburgh. He was up filming, and we were going there to perform in the hotel at night to do a comedy gig. And we were downstairs in the kind of conference rooms, which was our green room. And I was walking along the conference room to go in the green room because they'd put some food in for us. And he's walking along the corridor for the other way. And he gets to the lift. No, I'm not got to the lift. I'm getting to the room before the lift. But he gets to the lift and he starts rattling the button. And I'm there with another guy. And the two
He's a wee guy, isn't he, as well, Christian?
Wee
Slater?
guy, aye. But he's rattling a button as if to say, like, I don't want to speak to people. And then the guy who was with me just went, nobody gives a fuck who you're. And then just walks in the room. That was like, because he's pure rattle as if like, oh
Get
my
me out of
God,
here for these fucking
they're
people
going to
talking
ask
to me.
for an autograph. And then he just went, nobody gives a fuck who you're. And just walked in. And it's like, nobody gives a, like going, who cares if you're, who cares? You're Christian Slater, who gives a fuck? Good for you.
Aye, bad
Walked in the room.
romance, fucking so
Aye.
slow.
Tom Cruise, are you fucking wallop, Tom? Dude.
You get eyebrows of Jack Nicholson, you fucking nugget.
Wallop.
Mate.
I've met a few folk, famous folk, and I don't really get starstruck. But what's embarrassing is the people I'm with watching them crumble. Who you go, what's going on here? Why are you being like this?
Well,
I've been in company, met famous people, and been dealing with it all right, as in, how you doing, mate? You all right? And then the folk your way are just slavering wrecks.
I get tickets to go. I don't know if that picked up the mic, but what a fart that was. I get tickets to
Never
go
heard
to
it.
see Tim Minchin in Edinburgh, and went along. And then after it, the people are like, do you want to come backstage and meet him? And I went, no, straight away, no. And then when we got outside, my missus was like, I kind of wanted to go back. And I was like, do you want to go back and meet him? Or did you want to go back to get a picture taken? And she went, aye. I went, exactly, so we're off. And then after it, 2 days later, the person who'd got us the tickets, I went, obviously I'm never going to be at that level. But I was like, don't invite a group of people backstage to meet somebody because you've got that connection. That's no fair to put that on someone.
But sometimes people like that kind of bullshit.
No, but say you had given, for example, you had said to a mate of yours, listen, I'm doing this massive gig to 2,200 people that sold out for 3 nights in a row.
It's every weekend, Scott.
Right, but that's the level we're at, and here's 10 tickets for you and your pals. And then he turns around and says, I'm going to bring them all backstage without even telling you. You don't do that. Do you mean you take, you accept the tickets, or you don't then have to put people in that? And also, sometimes people just want to go backstage just to say they've been
Backstage,
where it's I just find that odd. I just find all that stuff odd. I just think you've enjoyed the show or you've not enjoyed the show. This has been a great night. Why do you then have to break that, barrier if you want to?
Some folk, we know backstage is a lot of shite, but some folk majority of folk want to be backstage because you think that's where the action is, when there's fuck all happening backstage, apart from maybe a bit of drinking, maybe there's folk getting mad with it, but there's nothing going on.
See, once, right, I met Jamiroquai, JK, right?
No way.
Dude,
Tell me you just said, fucking hell, mate, what are you all about?
Do you know what? He was fucking sound. He was absolutely sound. It was at the SECC in Glasgow. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, his close friend is one of his backing singers. Now, he uses the London gospel choirs as his backing singers, right? So she got his tickets, and then after, she's like, do you want to come backstage with the band? So he wasn't going to be there. And I was like, of course. So we all went because it's free bevy, right? Now we were 19 at the time. Went in, free drink. Right? Mate, I wasn't really a big fan. I like one or two of the songs, but I'd say this. See that show? Mate, that was unbelievable. Honest to God. The production, it was an incredible show, right? It was absolutely
incredible. Was this the one he's on the fucking tarmacs that are moving?
He had everything. Mate, he had stuff going up walls and shit. All the hats. Unbelievable, right? So we're in this big room, which is effectively like a conference room that they open up the walls. So it's like a big, massive room, right? And all the bands in it and the backing singers and a couple of other people. Not that many people, but there's hundreds of space. So then he appears with like two other guys and he's talking to the band and whatever. And he came over, right? And obviously because we're in that room, he's no in full celeb mode yet. So he was just talking.
He's comfortable with everybody.
Mate, he was sound as fuck. And I spoke to him for about 5 minutes, just talking shite and just asking about Glasgow. Then the wee handler came over and went, we need to go through into the meet and greet room. And dude, he stood with his hands on the wall, like breathing techniques as if, right, just get this over with. And then just went, whew, and then walked through the door with the fucking hat on. He's like, hey, skitty bap, bap, bap. And I just saw the door shut behind him. And I was like, fuck that.
JK, I would let you hunt me in Millport.
Fuck that, carry on. Like, can you imagine doing a 2.5 hour gig and then you've got to go out and I just find all that odd. I think it's far more exciting as a fan, surely, if you like, you happen to meet them in public or they come out like a stage door or something like that. Surely that's more exciting than paying an extra fucking £200 and
that's what happened. The culture changed and people started paying tickets.
That's the American. It's the Americans. It's the fucking American way. Arseholes.
Tony Bennett, one of my all-time heroes, right? He plays in Glasgow. Well, I don't know, but no recently, obviously, the last couple of years. He plays in Glasgow every year, right? I would go and see him. Royal Concert Hall. Now, if you don't know who Tony Bennett is,
I know who Tony Bennett
fucking
is.
Frank Sinatra's best favourite singer. I'm just, no, for you, for the listeners out there, you know. And I fucking love his vibe. After every gig, he would come out to the side door himself, no security, and meet just folk who were hanging about. Now,
Right.
I used to go out after the show
What a
on
bender.
Cloud9
What a
and
bender.
kind of hang about at the other side of the street
Yep.
just to watch him come out and meet people, because I myself couldn't bring myself to go and meet him. I didn't want to meet him. I wanted to meet him, but I knew I didn't want to do it. I couldn't do it. Didn't want to break the magic.
But do you know think
I
that
really
that
would
is,
love to have met him.
do you not think that's cooler than going, hey, if you want to pay £200, I'll come and get a photo with you?
100%. But what I'm getting to is his son then started managing him.
Yep.
And then for something he's done for free all his life, all of a sudden it's
He's
a
not
premium
paying
rate ticket to
Aye.
meet him after the show.
Yep.
And I just think,
I
I
hate
get
it.
the money thing, but surely at that age, at that level, you're making far more than enough. Continue doing what you're doing, because that will live longer with anybody than I paid an extra £400 and actually go to meet Tony Bennett and get a CD
I
signed.
just find it so fake. A lot of the American, in fact, I say a lot of them, every single
them.
big American comic does it. And there's one in particular that I used to follow because I would watch her videos that she would post up, and she's built this fan base. It's like people would literally kill themselves for this woman. It's insane, right?
Who's the comic?
Doesn't matter. And the video that she had on was people meeting and greeting her. Now you get 60 seconds, right? So you come in and it's all like, oh my God, hello, thank you so much. You get your picture taken and you fuck off. And they all have gifts for her, and then they all pretend like, you know, I'm welcomed into the world, and just, I'm like, no, you're paying for this. Like there's nothing real here. None of this is real. It's like even now, a lot of the British comics, they make them do it, or they pay premium ticket, they pay a meet and greet. When they stand, they get their picture taken and they leave. And I'm going, surely as a punter, they can see that that is false. It's not real.
Well, it depends how the person is, the artist is, when they meet that person, and how comfortable they make the person feel.
I mean, of course they're going to make them feel like they're fucking on cloud nine.
Because they're paying for it.
Exactly.
I done a gig in Sydney, Australia. You know, I hate flying things about, you know, but you know, maybe this is maybe 3-4 years ago. And for whatever reason, the gig never actually reached the ticket for the place that they had booked to. It never sold out like everybody thought it was going to do.
Right.
Unbeknownst to me, they had sold a VIP package, which included, I think, they get a record and they go to meet me in a photograph ways.
Right.
Which I was cool. I just thought that was part of the night. That's what I was fucking doing. Like, there was like, I didn't know if it was a competition. I didn't know it was. It was a fixed ticket price, because I'm just getting paid my fee to turn a long day to gig, right?
Yep.
So I've done it, and there was about 100 folk there, all pumped up, mega excited, right? Done pictures with every one of them, signed every one of their things, had a few drinks, had a crack, actually enjoyed myself. And then I'd done the gig that night. The gig was all right, but it wasn't like a rammed show that I'd usually fucking do.
Yep.
And the promoters said they did that because it was the only way they could make it work financially. So I kind of got it for that respect. If they hadn't done that VIP package, they would have lost a load of fucking money on bringing me out to do the gig of party of tour. So I get it for that reason. But then where is the level where you go, you shouldn't have did that and you should have took the hit and lost money? And, you know, I wasn't getting any extra money. I was just getting my fee to do the gig, whether I was meeting these folk or no.
I don't know. I just don't like I certainly would never pay the insane money it is for these meet and greet tickets for some of them.
That's because you've been behind the Wizard's fucking
sleeve. I've been up the Wizard's sleeve, mate.
You've been up the Wizard's sleeve.
I've bumped the Wizard's sleeve.
But you know what I mean? You know, you've seen front and back. There's nothing that would faze you, because we've experienced behind the stage. Whereas a lot of people, in their imagination, they can see the stage and how amazing and magical it is, and they think behind the stage is even more fucking amazing when it's no.
I just think that, see, because now the way the world is with like social media and that, I think everyone feels as if they know these artists or they should be given access to them. Like, don't get me wrong, see if people ever come up to me after a gig or stop me in the street and say, like, big man, saw you at the Fringe or saw the show, whatever, can I get a picture? I'm like, mate, of course, like,
Your
still get-
Patreon, no bother.
I still get blown away that people even recognise you or want a picture. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is the falseness that I find with a lot of acts, where as soon as they've done the show, they run straight down to the foyer, because, and a lot of it is, it's not for everybody. I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, but I am saying a lot of them is that the quality, the substance isn't there, so they have to build this
Right.
accessible side of them where it's like, I'm your best pal, please come back next year and see me, because the quality on stage isn't the same. I
clever
much
marketing
prefer
then.
it. I much prefer it where I've watched an amazing show and I now leave. If I happen to ever see that person in the street or in a situation, I'll be like, fucking hell, no way. Talk to them, get a picture. Like I'm saying, anybody ever sees me after a gig, they ask for a picture, more than happy to get a picture. But I just don't want to have that falseness of, listen, it's 15 quid for a ticket, but see if you pay £75, I'll come down and meet you for fucking 2 minutes. What's that? I just find that horrible. I just find it horrible. I really
Then
do.
if you're the artist taking the money, you have to be in gig mode to meet them because you've been paid to perform to meet them. If you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean. I didn't even make any sense. what you just
Jamiroquai
said there.
breathing against the wall before he went into meet his fucking meet and greet things. It's part of the show. That's not the real Jamiroquai. It's going on to meet that guy.
No, but then
It's
I
just-
got to meet the real Jamiroquai for fuck all.
Aye, exactly. Because he was in gig mode. You actually got to meet the real guy.
Right, so would you
all the
know what I
people that
meet the
paid
real-
money?
Would you know what
That's
to
what-
meet the real person? Because you're not getting to meet the real person then.
But
You're
what I'm
getting to
trying
meet the,
say is
hey guys, how you doing? Why fucking
Aye.
call back?
But that's what I'm saying. You're just paying for an extra performance. Even the people who are coming down to shake
No, but
hands,
that's
to
not
do
how
meet
they,
and
that's not
greets,
how they
it's no
see
real.
it. That's not how they see it. They're not buying a meet and greet ticket in their head going, I'm going to get an encore. They're buying a meet and greet ticket in their mind. They think, I'm going to become their best pal. That's what they think. And it's a false setup. There's somebody moving them on. You know, they get their photo and they fuck off.
Aye, next.
And even a lot of time, they take the picture on their phone. They don't even get an actual proper photo.
Here's the thing. Somebody posted a question saying,
How
Did
did
you
we go into
support-
this?
"Did you support Frankie Boyle?"
Oh, I've got it
Uh,
here.
And because I was going, that's an interesting question.
Kenny
Scott.
O'Neill to Scott. Were you the warm-up man at the recording of Frankie Boyle Tramadol Nights at the BBC? I went to one of the shows and was glad I never paid for the tickets. Most of us said the warm-up was better. And that's Kenny O'Neill. Kenny, I was not the warm-up for that show. I did warm-up for Frankie's tours, and I did warm-up for the autopsy, the election autopsies. But I do know people who did the warm-up. Jim Muir, the Rev, did some of the warm-ups. And, oh, fuck, I can't remember the other guy's name. An Irish guy, Martin Moore, did some of the warm-ups as well. The thing with the TV stuff is that a lot of the times the warm-up acts, they get a better response because here's the other thing, mate.
They pressure on them.
Kind of connected to what we were talking about there, but being in green rooms and like, you know, normal people, if you like, not really getting what it is. See, making television is fucking boring. It is fucking boring. There's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing cool about it. It is fucking boring. It is
Hanging about
long.
waiting.
It's boring and it's shit. That's why if you have a good warm-up, they tend to be remembered because it's something different. Now, a lot of the times, if the warm-up is picked by the comic, so the warm-up is a comedian, then it's usually a good thing because I just do a gig when I'm there. But sometimes the warm-ups will be warm-up guys, so all they do is TV warm-up, and it's a bit more kind of end of the pier, kind of chatty kind of vibe, which is a bit shit. But if you get somebody who's like a good stand-up, it can be fun. I never did the warm-up for that. I didn't know Frankie when he was making Tramadol, but I have done a fair bit of warm-up in the past, and it's always been good. But when you stop the process of like the show being filmed, it is boring as fuck, man. Boring as fuck. I've spoken about the Mountain Goats loads that I did the warm-up for, man. That was fucking,
What's
it
the
was like
Mountain
joy.
Goats?
There's a program that's on BBC called Mountain Goats. Only did one series, and mate, it was like pulling teeth, man. That was a fucking shift. Honest to God.
Hanging about and all that.
Mate, I mean, you're there for about fucking 5 hours, 6 hours. But also, I used to get really frustrated with, like, it's a completely backward way of thinking, because you are taking a performer, so me, and you are putting me in a non-performance environment. And but what I mean is, when I do a gig, I think, if I was a punter coming to see this show, would I be comfortable sitting in this room? So if the chairs aren't comfortable, or the room's not comfortable, or I can't get a bar, or I can't go for a piss, that's the things that I think about when I'm booking a venue, right? But the way that the television see it, because you've no bought a ticket, you get the ticket for free.
You don't deserve these things.
They will say to you, like, sit in that seat and do not fucking move for 3 hours, because we're making a show. And they'll say, like, if you need to go to the bathroom, we'll take you out, but you might not be allowed back in again. So a lot of the times they come in full of energy thinking, oh, this is going to be cool. I'm going to get to see a TV show being made. And it's fucking boring. And they need to sit there for 3 hours watching this shit, bored.
Without getting paid.
Well, I mean, you're getting paid a
Do
warm up.
you not get money to do the
Be an
TV
audience?
audience?
No. You get a free ticket. You get a free ticket, that's it. But obviously there's some shows that are better than others, but I did hear about now, I don't know how the format of Tramadol Nights went, because it's obviously a sketch show. So they did have, like, Frankie doing a bit of stand-up piece to camera, but I don't know what happened between then. Do you know what I mean? How it worked? That would have been a very odd show to have been an audience member for, because you're effectively sitting there watching the TV show. Do you know what I mean? Because they're showing you the sketches.
Another thing that annoys me, maybe because obviously since I got to know you and Gary, is how when a comedian makes it, right, how do they not automatically get guys like yourself and Gary to support them when they go into the fucking, like your Kevin Bridges of the world and all that? They should be making it, right, see my tours, these are the guys I'm going to shine a light on, and chop it up and change it to help boost their careers for these big stadiums and all that. I don't think there's enough of that. You could say there's not even enough of that on the DJ world, right? But
I know,
it should be
but
your
listen,
duty. When you make it, you should just be going, right, say for instance, I'm Kevin Bridges, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got I've got the hydro on the go. Now I'm just going to look into, I'm playing the hydro specifically, so I would get fucking Scottish guys on board. So I'd go, right, let's get Scott, let's get Gary, and I'd do a bit of digging to see who's the guys that fucking should be there.
I know, but then some guys do that, and a lot of guys don't, and it's just, sadly, it's just the way that it's just
an agent gets involved, and it's all fucking.
Mate, the way my industry. First of all, there's no industry in the UK. There's no comedy industry in the UK. It's all bullshit, right? It's just made up. It's a load of people all fighting over scraps. So what happens is everybody tries to shaft each other, and everybody fucking wants to step in each other. And then when anybody makes it, nobody really wants to help anybody up, because a lot of the people who make it in this country are not the most talented, are not the best acts. They have the connections. They know how to play the system. They get through, right? So a lot
of gears with agents in the back room and all that.
A lot of people don't want to rock the boat, and that's fine. Everybody's got to. We are not America. We're never going to be America, because the mindset over here is not the same. In America, when the touring comic, everything is built around the act. So they decide who their warm-up is, how many guys they have, they take them on the road. We're never going to have that here, because we don't have that scale of industry. So you can't, that's just never going to happen. So there's no point in even thinking about that or doing that road. Yes, there are ways that high-profile acts could do more and should be doing more, but that's up to them to make that decision. Do you know what I mean? And if they don't want to do it, who's fuck them? They don't have to do it. They do what they want.
I think somebody like, again, changing it to the DJ industry, say Calvin Harris, multi-millionaire, he should at least start some college or a DJ school or something, or bring wee up-and-coming DJs on board to his shows, scattered wherever. Because why me DJ, say a wee young guy, 20-year-old, try to cut his teeth being a DJ, he just needs to do 1 or 2 gigs with Calvin Harris. He'll get years out of that.
Mate, no, even that. I mean, look what we're doing now. Look at the way that the landscape is moving towards podcasting. You're telling me that if Calvin Harris was to do something like you do with the interview, Calvin Harris sets up a podcast. So overnight, that's going to be one of the biggest podcasts in the world. And Calvin Harris only focuses on British DJs or up and
New
coming DJs.
talent. Oh,
And-
fucking.
I mean, that would be like what Joe Rogan has done. You know, there's nothing to stop people doing something like that. It doesn't need to be a financial boost, or you could do something like, you know, Kevin could start a podcast, or Frankie could do a podcast.
Just interviewing other comedians.
Doesn't have to be them, you know. But again, there is no. You've got to have a certain type of mindset and be a certain type of person, I think, to want to help others. You know, to want to be involved in projects like we do. I do my own podcast, you do your own podcast, but we do this together. And we've, you know, it used to be the three of us, and we always wanted to try and make it of what it is and what it's grown into, right? And we do that together. But some people just don't want to do it. And again, you can't make people do things. But if somebody like Calvin Harris, through whatever reason, has been like the mainstream DJ that people who don't understand that genre of music will at least know him, he could do something like a podcast and have, you know, DJs on it that would fucking give them another boost. But
then how do you do that? But like, even like, say you done it in the comedy thing, right? Say you're Kevin Bridges doing a podcast. We'll have a new comedian every time, right?
mm-hmm.
It's not as if it's going to be like, right, perform monkey, let's go. It'd have to be a chat thing. Then you're not even getting to see what the comedian's like, because it's just like two guys talking. Is it going to be funny? Are they going to try and sell themselves, slip jokes in? Would they be real? Same with the DJ side of things. What are they going to sit down and go, right, do a DJ mix?
No,
What
but
are they going to talk about?
if you're interested in music, the connection would be, right, if I'm interested in music, I'm listening to Calvin Harris's podcast. If I'm a big Calvin Harris fan, I'm going to listen to Calvin. Like I did with Joe Rogan. I can't stand Joe Rogan's stand-up. I can't even believe that Joe Rogan is a stand-up, right? Oh, fuck off. I can't. When I see him, I go, I like the show and I like the podcast technique. When I watch his stand-up, I'm like, where the fuck is the buttons? Get this off now.
It's two totally different guys, isn't it?
Right. But when he has people on who, you know, American stand-ups that I don't know, or even he said people on who are like, you know, they're authors or whatever, I have watched it and went, I quite enjoy this conversation. I'll go and check them out. And I've watched some of the stand-up and went, this is awful, I don't like it. I've also watched some and went, this guy's really good, I'll maybe follow them. So it's definitely, you know, it's not like you're going to go in and say, right, perform, but it's just another way to bring you to a market that you maybe, because that's the problem. You're always trying to find ways to just grow the fucking numbers. You know, that's the hustle now, and that's why it's tiring. That's why the last couple of months since COVID, like it's fucking draining, man, because you're just being good isn't enough. You know, and it hasn't been enough for a long time. But all the other stuff that you need to be good at, I'm shite at. Like the social media, the brand, I'm no good at that. I'm good at.
It's new at a time when you can't just be something. You have to be
100 things.
A comedian, a DJ, a fucking internet fucking dude, a promoter. It's multi. Every job's multi in the arts more so. Every job's multi. You can still just be a joiner and turn up and fix things. You can't be a fucking a guy in the band, but and no publish yourself on social media and no be fucking blah blah blah. And
I think that is because nobody really knows what a good version of a thing is anymore.
Because it's
you know what I mean? Like for example, you've got fucking TikTokers or influencers or people who are famous because they're good looking, and then they turn in and say they're a DJ, and everyone goes, "All right, you're a DJ," and go, "No, you're not a DJ. You're just a fucking dafty that somehow has got a million people to follow you on Instagram because you get your bangers out but don't show your nipples. You're not a DJ." Same way people that go, "I'm a comedian and and I'm an actor," and I go, "No, you're not. You're some dick that makes fucking TikTok videos, but then the world says you're a comedian." You know what I mean?
Hey, you guys have been listening to the HashTag show where we dissect
hot topics, hot potatoes.
Hot topics. Let's talk about something silly and then we'll wind this one up.
Aye, because well, hey, this has been a hefty one for the patrons. You know, they cancel episodes an hour, if that's all they deserve.
That's hard graft nowadays.
Do you know, mate? I would love to just get to the point where we just do Patreon episodes.
Here's the thing: are we as guilty? We're getting people to pay for our content. We're doing buy extra VIP tickets to get these extra episodes with the boys. So are we kind of like your Jamiroquai meeting the extra guys?
No, not at all.
No, because we're just still doing what we're doing in it. It's
Not at all. I'm. You've got to have a value with everything. You've got to have a value, and if your thing is worth paying for, then why give it away for free?
Amen.
Whether heroes, people listening to this, believe it or not, I am one of the best comedians in this country. I know that for a fact. I'll argue with you to the death.
I like that. You,
Mate,
you need to have self-belief.
100%, and this isn't delusional nonsense. I am one of the best comedians in this country, without a shadow of a doubt.
God damn, absolutely.
You come and
right.
see me live, and you go and see any other one of the wee dafties that are fucking pushed as being the next thing. I will wipe the floor with every one of these cunts. So, you want the hashtag show? You pay $5 for the good stuff. You want to listen to my podcast? You pay $5 for the good stuff. And that's it. And it's worth paying for. It's worth paying for. It's no, we're not taking a piss like a lot of podcasters. Listen, I watch a podcast called Tiger Belly, right? It's an American comedian, Bobby Lee, and his girlfriend, and they do interviews, and I like it. I enjoy it. I'll never join the podcast because he's just bought a new house in LA for $6.5 million. He doesn't need my money, right? It's people like that I go, you're taking the piss now. You are a made man. You're one of the biggest stars in America, a multi-millionaire. The fact that you're asking people to pay $25 a month for your Patreon is taking the piss. That's taking the piss, right?
Fucking hell.
But the heroes, I love yous, and I know we joke about it in the past. Genuinely, see, since lockdown has started, mate, see if it wasn't for patrons and it wasn't for me doing that quiz, that's the only income that I've had. And even that, I'm scraping by on like, I mean, I'm ashamed to say it, £120 a week, man. And it's been tough, mate. It's been tough. But without people signing up to our Patreon, I would have been fucked, man. Genuinely fucked. Would have had nothing.
Because all other income streams are cut.
Gone. If it wasn't for the missus still working, and even that, I spoke about a wee bit in my podcast before. I feel terrible, man, because she is working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, as a lot of people are. And then come the end of the month when she gets paid, everything goes because we've got, a high rent because it's Edinburgh. We've got all our bills to pay. And you're still on trying to fucking graft to keep something coming in. Do you know what I mean? So things like Patreon now that we can get people on board is a brilliant thing. And to everybody who's listening to this who's a hero, I cannot thank you enough for signing up and being part of it, because you've kept me and a two manager alive. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking about this a lot, like trying to build my own following for my podcast and like trying to think about what I want to do with like the comedy albums and how I can record stuff. And I'm not sitting here going like, I want the hashtag show to be, $100,000 a month. It would be nice for us to get to a point where, we can get a wage from it, and this can be, our main focus. That would be lovely.
A job.
I mean, even since day one, mate, with my own stand-up, I have never wanted to be an arena comic. I just wanted to get to the point where I could live a comfortable life, no have to worry about paying bills. And that's the biggest thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, in fact, Paul Curry, who performed at hashtag Live, right? Panda Hands. And we were talking about how the biggest stress, like, for an artist, because obviously he does stand-up, he's a clown, he's an artist as well, he paints and does installations and different stuff. One of the biggest strains for an artist is like having a base, having a house, paying your rent, paying your mortgage. If you didn't have that stress, think how much of your energy you could focus on creating stuff. Like, aside the fact that if you, for example, had your house, right, just you've not got Maria, you've not got the Waynes, right? That never happened, and it's just you in a flat, right?
I'm dead, man. I'm dead.
Right, your mom's checking in on you, so you're fine, right? But you're in the situation where you are able to build an online community that enables you to not live a lavish life, but enables you to pay your rent and pay your bills from what you put out on Patreon. Imagine how much safer you would feel and how better your music would be, because now you can just focus your time on creating stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I've been doing for the last 30 years. And all money does is buys you time to do your art. That's all
Exactly.
it is.
Exactly.
It's when you start to get the money,
I need the money.
I know, but it's when you start thinking, I need the money in to buy me a new motor. That's when it ski with things. But if you look at it as in the money just buys you time, because that's really what it does.
That's how now
make you help you be more creative.
Everything about the whole kind of COVID thing, I'm like, in the next 5 years, I want out, I want away, I want space, I want land, or a wee cottage and on the cheap, man. Do you mean? And then spend the next 10 years doing it up. I don't want, like, this situation we're in where, you're having to find a stupid amount of money every month to pay your rent and your bills. I don't want that ever again, because we hope to God this never happens, but imagine this happens again next year. I mean,
the next something's going to happen, or another thing, or another strain, or whatever. I think
let's not go down this road. We're going to have to.
Deep, man. We're greedy here, man. We're
I know,
greedy.
mate. I just want to say to all the heroes, I fucking love you. And see the next hashtag live, I'm going to put every one of these in my mouth and slosh your balls about. That's what I'm going to do.
Here's the thing. Are you doing a pub quiz at the Corona?
Oh, hi, Saturday. Fuck. I don't know when this is going to go out. I'm doing a live quiz at the Corona on Saturday.
So is it a ticketed thing?
No, it's. I think you can reserve a table, or you need to reserve a table on their Facebook page. But it's no ticketed.
The mad thing about it is they're not allowed a comedian, but they're allowed a quiz. So are you
and
doing
honestly,
it at the back door?
I don't know how it's going to work, is the truth.
Well, you're going to do your entertaining
Quiz,
which is funny. So
let's hope so. Do you know what my worry is?
Time.
My worry is that I'm hoping that people go there and they're up for a bit of banter. My worry is that, like, people are going to be like, I came out here to get pished, not to listen to you fat cunt. I just saw. And then I'm going to be like, what?
Or it's just locals going, what the fuck's, where's Alan that does the quiz?
They used to got a fucking pool table there, fat boy.
Because I was
It'll be
thinking,
interesting. It'll be interesting
that's
to see.
quite cool. You could, obviously you're sorting out with Gary and that, but you could make it into something pretty cool.
We'll see how it's like anything else. The first one's always the most nervy one because I don't know what it's going to be like. But if it goes well, it might be nice to maybe do something once a month if we can make it an event or make it a night. Do you know what I mean? It might be something a bit different. I don't know, but we'll wait and see. But first one's on Saturday, and we'll kind of go for there. See if it works out all right.
He's got a wee sound system and all that, isn't he? It's in the boozer.
So. Again, it's all a lot of it. Why I'm nervous is because I'm not going to know until I get there, and that makes me nervous.
And then all with the social distancing and the tables and
so I don't know what the pub's going to be like. Even things like I don't even know if people.
Big pub. I've been in the pub for a meal and all that. It's a cracking
I've not been in it since he took it over, so I don't know if he's done anything different to it.
I don't think there's much different happening, but there's a seated bit through the back we've cordoned off as a restaurant.
But even things like I don't even know if people are allowed to go to the bar, or if it's going to be table service. I don't even know that. Because I've only been to one pub, and I was sitting outside, and they had to come and serve you. You weren't allowed to go anywhere.
In jam jars.
It was in a shoe, and an old
tramp's shoe.
It was a tap dancer's shoe, actually. A boot. Right, we need to wrap this up, mate, because that's fucking nearly 2:00, and this Doug's crossing his legs. I can't believe we've been doing this for 2 hours.
Well, we did go down the deep road,
Absolute bumper. Right, Glenn McPherson, Kenny O'Neill, Douglas Kane, thank you for your questions. And Gail Tyndall, David Mackay, Andrew, Willie Wilson, Andy Bailey, Stephen Wilson, and David Byrne. We never got a chance to answer yours, but we will answer them very soon in another episode. Right, so listen to Mal's podcast, listen to my podcast. If you're in Glasgow on the south side on Saturday, come to the live quiz, and we will be back very soon with some more hashtag stuff. But encourage pals, sign up to the Patreon, tell them to join us. Let's grow the hashtag heroes, and more special episodes coming soon. Cheeky Mal, anything else?
Up now. My wife's just telling us that we're not finished yet, so yes, we are.
Hello.
finishing right now because my
Right
lunch
now.
is on the table.
On cue. Lucky
The farmer's
bastard.
table. We're having a pig with an apple in its mouth.
Bye.
Thank you. All the
Thank
best.
you.
man.
Bye. Take care. Up the bum.
The hashtagshow.co.uk.